Well, welcome back and happy whatever day it is for you. For us, it's Saturday. Back here at the property, we do not have the camper here yet, as you can see, but we're kind of prepping for that. Supposed to meet a concrete guy out here in a little bit, and then while we're waiting on that, there's some little piddly stuff I'm going to do today. So we'll get to that in a few. Meantime, I want to clarify something from the last video I had a couple questions about. There's some comments about like what we should do ourselves and trying to learn things ourselves, which that is the plan, so I wasn't clear on that. I know I mentioned contractors several times, but the idea, we got to get the camper up here, and the RV pad is going to be 16 by 40, so that's too big of a concrete job to even attempt myself. So we got to pay for that. And then, of course, the septic goes through the health department. That has to be done by approved contractors and all that stuff and inspected. So we already have the permit for that. So once the excavation's done, then the septic guy will get in here. But you can see Shanna's back there somewhere walking the dog. But yeah, so really getting the area for the septic and the RV pad cleared out by the dozer guy, and then septic, concrete. I'm going to try to do as much from there as I can myself. I'm going to build the RV port myself. Then we're going to do the off-grid solar thing, so I'll be wiring that up, installing all that stuff in the camper myself. And then when we build our utility building, it's going to be solar and batteries as well. So that'll all be coming, but down the road, first thing first, got to get the camper up here. But while we're waiting, I'm going to go ahead and do a few little things around here, and we'll show you those as we go.
I know, I'm getting there.
All right, so first project of the day is to deal with the dog. When we come out here, we can't just let her run completely loose because there's other dogs that are loose sometimes, and we don't want her going too far from us in the road. So in the meantime, we brought the fence we used the campground. We're gonna find a spot up here out of the way of all the work being done, and we're gonna go ahead and put that up so we can at least get her in a little bit of a fenced area. Like, we just got down from the top of the hill. First thing we do when we get here is we hike up to the top and back down just to wear her down. But so now we should be able to put her over in that, especially if it gets warm. We don't want to just leave her in the car and she gets all muddy, and then I don't want her in my truck. So we're gonna go set that up real quick.
It's okay, Sky. We're gonna try to put your fence up.
Well, I don't have everything, Shanna.
I know. I'd say right there, about where you're at, don't you? Come here, Sky. Come.
All right, so we got the fence up. I just got to hammer in the stakes, and then we'll get Sky in there and see if she adapts or thinks it's too weird not being hooked to the camper. Normally we have the fence up to the camper door, but this at least lets her stay in there so Shanna can help me. I'm always needing an extra set of hands, and Shanna's busy with the dog, so this will help that while we work on other projects here.
He does love this stuff. Hey, Sky.
You want me to weed eat it, or?
I'm gonna put the little thing in a minute in there.
I thought you went in.
Here.
All right, so we got our gates up. Concrete guy got here. We've gotten 3 quotes now. The last one was definitely the most thorough quote, and was the most expensive, and it was the one that booked out the furthest, which all points to them being the better option.
And they get good, really good
great
rating.
reviews online. The other guys didn't necessarily get bad reviews, but they had limited information. So they did say they're once we give them the go-ahead to definitely do it, they'll be about a month out. So we've got to find a spot to keep the camper for a good 4 to 6 weeks that's down low here till we can get septic and the concrete in. So that's what Shannon and I are going to go and measure out a couple spots here and see which direction we want the camper facing and all that, because in 6 days we bring the camper over. So we're going to start mapping that out a little bit. Hold this. Oh, hold on. I didn't say pull. It's going to catch my fingers. You do that every time we use this. I say hold, you do pull. All right, that's the length of the camper. Ooh. So step this way. Are we gonna try to have him back it in to get the door this side for now? Or do we want the door that way for now?
I would like the door that way, but if we can't back it in, we can do the other way.
If we do door this side, or this side, that puts utilities that side. So I gotta have room to get that thing to dump the tanks over. And you'd probably have to pull up into here and then back it in. So step this way a little. Do one more step. You do one more step over. So that puts the door right about halfway up.
Yeah.
Or no, the door's in the back. So the door would be back that way. Slide would be hung out this way. I'd have to bring the thing over and then just go around the front with it. And then have the truck parked right here. Then when it's time to move it over, I'd have to hook up, swing way wide out there, and then over into it.
Yeah.
So let's set this down.
Are we gonna come back here tomorrow and get the 2x8?
All right, so trying to level across where the axle of the camper will be. I've got it ballparkish for today. So we're gonna try to see if he'll come in with the camper and back it in. So that is one thing. I am having someone pull the camper in the property for me. I mentioned on previous videos, but because there's a sharp turn and a steep hill at the same time, and I've got the standard bed truck, I'm afraid it'll either hit the back window or the bed rails. One of the two is going to hit. So found someone that transports campers that has an 8-foot bed and said he doesn't mind they're taking the risk, so he's going to bring it in here for me. But we'll try to have him pull in and back it to this point. We'll get the axles set where I'm leveling, but I'm going to come back tomorrow and level this out a little bit more, just where the axles are sitting, not a big area. But then end of the week, we'll get that pulled in here and get set up, and then we can really get to work. Shanna's happy because she can have the dog outside with her now.
Yep.
But other than that, we're calling it a day. Started out cold when we first got here. Now I'm sweating.
And I'm starving.
It's that time of year where I think it's close to 50 now. But yeah, when you're working and it's 50 degrees and you're in the sun in a sweatshirt, you sweat like crazy.
And you don't have any trees right now.
When we got here, it was cloudy and it was like 42 and was windy. So, but we're gonna call it a day. Come back tomorrow and just probably give you a quick update on how this goes. But that's all we have for tomorrow, really. We're kind of at a holding pattern until we get the camper here. But But we're gonna call it a day and head back to the campground. So, a little context here. Yesterday we started work on leveling this spot for the camper. Went and bought some 2x12s and then just cut it to a 7-foot and a 5-foot piece. Screwed those together so then I can at least have that much to drive up on the other side. So now today I'm just going to get a level spot for that to sit. That way it's level both directions, and then I'm going to level across the other side. That way the other 2 tires can sit there and we have to do minimal leveling. Since the concrete guy's about a month out from when we tell him it's a go, we figure we have at least 5-6 weeks with the camper here. So we got to get it good and solid. So I'm going to get that leveled out and then we'll go from there for the day.
You mean to help you?
Sure. A little bit heavier now.
Yeah, I bet it is.
So let's get it. I want to set it down flat like that so I know how far I'm going. There, so we definitely got to work it that way more. I don't get it.
You're moving her dirt.
All right, so dug enough over here. Temporary, so it's gonna be a little bit of a ditch here. I'm gonna get some exact measurements on the camper when we get back to the campground. And this week when we come back, I'll make sure everything's perfectly square and level to this spot. But at this point, it should be good to get the camper in here, so a couple more days for that. So at this point, I might just tinker around the property, but that's really all I can do today. I might get the brush cutter out and widen my trails up to the top a little bit so the truck can get up easy. Right now the bushes haven't grown in, so it's a good time to knock all that thorny crap out. So might do that and then call it a day and hope we hear from our excavator and then get the camper hauled over here.
We definitely got to get up here.
Yep.
Knock this down so then we can keep up with it.
All right, so as you can see behind us, camper's on the property. Got it up here about noon today. Went fairly smooth. I'm still glad that I didn't do it. I'm glad I paid someone. Truck probably would have got it in here, but even the guy that pulled it in here, I was afraid it would either hit the window of mine or the bed rails. And the guy that does it, like his frame of his back window is dented in from where he's had that happen. So it was worth the money to pay somebody. But it's here. We are exhausted. It's been all day of running around and getting stuff set up and trying to get to where we can get the power on for the night. We have 0 utilities. So next video will probably be us going over what we're doing about the 0 utilities issue. But for now, we're gonna wrap this video up. It's been an exhausting week just to get to this point. but we're here. So now it's sigh of relief. Shanna's happy.
Yep.
Dog's happy. Now it's time to regroup and get started again. So we'll see you guys in the next one.
Bye.